Hey guys, Tarke here, and I wanted to talk about my Tempest bow build. Anyone's watching the stream, you know that I've been playing a Tempest Pure Lightning Tornado Barrage character, and I managed to rip it today on stream by, well, I'll let you watch it. I'll talk about my thoughts of the build, how I will change it, and so on and so forth. But, yeah, this happened. Now, pay close attention to the direction that my face is facing. For reference, this is where my screen is. This is where my other screen is. I thought we would have had it by now. It's 1, 2 a.m. Note where I'm facing. Okay. Oh shit. I was reading chat. Oh, for fuck's sake. Don't read chat when you only have 2k HP. Fuck. I thought we... So yeah. So PK'd by chat, and this is the issue you have in hardcore when you play CI trees. So what I did is I stuck with this base routing, and just gonna turn that down a little bit. I stuck with this base routing. And I just filled in all the nearby life nodes. So I filled in this life here, that life there, that life there, and that. And I'd gotten over to about this point of the tree. I'd sort of just gotten over to here, so I hadn't picked up either Blood Siphon or Blood Drinker yet. And as you can tell, it's really not that much life at all. So you end up in this kind of awkward situation where even with you fill in all the nearby life, you're gonna have 146% max, right? So you need to be very careful about the way you level. Now, because of that, I don't recommend using this particular tree as a league starter, doing the CI routing. If you want to do this as a good league starter, then I would recommend that you follow a more traditional approach, and that would basically involve doing this like bog standard bow build. You kind of come up the right side of the tree, get all the normal life, do this, come into duelist, pick up all this good stuff, and then when you do the CI transition, you then do the transition. Now the problem with that is you have a very big transition. So it's one of those things of, if you want this to be your first character in the league, then you can do it as CI, but you need to be really paying attention to what you're doing. Softcore, it's not going to be an issue. In softcore, you're completely fine, but in hardcore, you need to really be paying attention to what you're doing. So that makes it a little bit iffy. I'd probably recommend this as like a second character, because if you're leveling without any like twink gear, without any cool uniques, and with very low base HP, and if you're like really on the ball, you're going to have a hard time. So just do it as a normal life build and just follow any generic sort of crit tree. All the crit stuff basically same. You just get this life here, and you come up this way, right? Now, the other thing that I wasn't too happy with about this build was it felt really bad not having the chain on the tornado shot. And I think what I would probably recommend is going Deadeye. Getting the +1 chain is nice. It solves a lot of problems. And you still get a pretty substantial DPS boost through stuff like Fire's additional projectile. You also get the 20% increased radius of area skills, meaning you can run a Blasphemy. Running Blasphemy on bow builds often feels really awkward. You can do it. You know, Mathel's done it plenty of times on his bow and wonders before. But you often end up in a situation where you have to then like put increased AoE on it or something so that it just doesn't feel shit. If you run like Blasphemy Assassin's Mark, half the time you're killing stuff outside of the range, so you're not getting the charges. And in the case of running defensive curses, half the screen either dies before it gets near you, or the range stuff, which is stuff which actually hits you, isn't being affected by your curses, so it just feels bad. So you need like to run increased AoE. If you have endless munitions, you can actually reliably run blasphemies, and it doesn't feel bad. You'll lack obviously some of the defense and utility of the other two options, but in terms of just like raw DPS, you get just a lot of raw damage. You get fast shot. Fast shot's really good. Fast shot means that, you know, you probably want to drop the whole point blank thing, since there's some obvious... You could argue there's negative synergy there. You could argue they're actually pretty good. The whole thing with fast shot is you want to be far away from things, obviously, to get that more damage active. You could argue that fast shot makes the point blank less punishing for map clear, but for bosses, it plays up the way it changes up your playstyle. Basically, if you go Deadeye, point blank becomes a bit awkward, so you need to think about if it's worth the points or not. But all in all, I think I'm going to make this character again. I did actually theory craft a Beano character. I thought maybe I'd sorry. I thought maybe I'd make use of the current bug of using melee weapons and wands, and I thought I would do something with like Beanos and obliteration, and like do, you know, Blade Flurry or Viper Strike or something stupid. But I started leveling up the character, and I've become such a ranged slave. I've become such a slave to bow builds that I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remake my last character as a Deadeye, but follow a more traditional life tree, and just hope that going into 2.6 we see some improvements to life on the right side of the tree. Otherwise, you're just looking at some really expensive respecs for a hardcore character. But anyway, I'm Tarke. I'm still looking pretty pale. I need to mess around with my mic and my cam. My cam for the paleness of my mic because I'm having some mic issues. We fixed all the annoying like buzz and stuff, but now occasionally my mic peaks. That's when it distorts when I say something particularly loud. Do tell me if it is distorting videos. Just do let me know. I keep shuffling it, moving it around, messing with settings. I want to try and make it work without having to buy a new microphone, because buying a good new microphone will be about $200-300, and obviously I'd like to save $200-300, but it is what it is. But yeah, for the end of the league, I'm just kind of waiting for more updates on 2.6. I was kind of hoping we'd have them by now, but we don't, which is kind of awkward. I'm going to remake my bow builds because, surprise, surprise, Tarke likes bow builds. If you haven't done already, scroll down. There will be links to follow me on Twitch to catch all the streams. We will be doing daily streaming. I will be streaming again tomorrow. Click on the Twitter to get updates on when I am going streaming. Any new updates, when we do get some info, I will be throwing it on there. And if you do want to support the channel and the stream, there is always the Patreon link for those who feel able to. But yeah, I'm Tarke. This has been a long-winded outro. Have a good day. Bye-bye.